Sean Phillips will jump it up with Khaman Maluach. Ball officials here for this exhibition game.
Absolutely. The ACC bringing them all out here for an exhibition game and getting everyone in shape as we see Caleb Foster handling the basketball, who will move to the primary ball handler for the Blue Devils this season.
Corey, early on, what are you looking for offensively from Duke?
Well, you want to see them be able to get the basketball inside. That's one of the areas where Cooper Flagg has been special. And we see Khaman Maluach
will run the show for the Sun Devils. They're going to try to look inside to their freshman sensation. Quainton's trying to post it up. He's guarded by Flagg, the good denial. It's Mason with the jumper, knocking it down. And Bobby Hurley is very excited about his senior transfer from Missouri State because he does provide that scoring touch.
Well, I tell you what, Bobby Hurley's always going to be excited about a point guard. One thing for certain, you got to have a great point guard, and you got to have a great player like Cooper Flagg is, as you see him finish early, getting to the rim, getting fouled, an opportunity. As you see Flagg attacking the basket, going to the rim, the ability to finish with the...
Anyone. You have seen Cooper Flagg and known his family since 7th grade. What makes him so special?
His
outside three off the mark.
And you got to imagine Quainton's wants to play well. He's a North Carolina native, so this is a great opportunity for him.
Look out! Cooper Flagg rising up. And he will draw the foul on the big man, Sean Phillips.
There are some guys that have earned their roles already as freshmen in Vegas this summer. By the way, a guy from USA Basketball by the name of Grant Hill is in attendance.
Caleb Foster, the sophomore out of Harrisburg, North Carolina, he's one of those guys that I feel like he is flying under the radar as Maluach finishes inside. There's so many top guards in the country, but Foster does a great job.
Specifically against Michigan State, where he was the star in their win over the Spartans.
Bashir Jihad off the bench. He's the transfer from Ball State, and he will be fouled by Tyrese Proctor, his first.
Hard to imagine. It's been 10 years since Bobby Hurley was a coach. Mac Days and hitting the transfer portal to bring in Jihad.
Freeman, the transfer from University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, throws that one away to Foster. Foster with a man on his hip, and he lays it in.
That's the difference between being a freshman and being a sophomore for the Duke Blue Devil. Mason Gillis coming over from Purdue, Sion James, and then, of course, Malik Brown, who was all-ACC defensive team and led the ACC in steals a season ago at Syracuse, now in a Blue Devil uniform. When you look at this team, Jon Scheyer has a great mix and, of course, a uniform swap, but now coming to what is one of the most talented.
Bought in, we are here as a team.
And you have to be, because when you consider, I mean, right now they have 11 guys that could be stars anywhere. As Cooper Flagg comes off showing off that much improved shooting touch, 92, when Bobby Hurley and Grant Hill were winning national championships. And I can never say that without mentioning Christian Laettner. I'm tripping for that.
That was 17-year-old Jaden Quaintance. He was a guy who originally committed to Kentucky, and then when Calipari decided to take the job, oh my goodness! Khaman Maluach. There are athletes all over the floor for Duke. They are long, they are bouncy, and they are a problem defensively. Someone lost a shoe. That's Nunez behind the play as laying it in is Kon Knipp. And the cold shooting start continues. Missed layup there by Ali. And Knipp will coming the other way. Nice pass finding Gillis all alone for the lay-in.
How to play the point guard position in this league, but what makes it so special is the educated fans. And you think about how much they love basketball, but more importantly, how much they love their team. And they know so much about them, what makes them work, what makes them click, as Caleb Foster is able to step up and knock down the three.
Trying to go coast to coast, had it tied up, and he lost it. Duke on a 9-0 run right now. Nice spin move, watch out.
Great. You know, I'll let you in a little secret. He told me a while ago his favorite player was Christian Laettner. And I'm thinking, you're too young to know who Christian Laettner is, but he He's here at Duke now, and obviously wants to do great things this year, and will have a great career in front.
And we talk about late. The first time I met Bobby Hurley, my first year at Virginia, yourself, Bobby Hurley, Christian Laettner, Brian Davis, you guys show up on grounds at UVA and walk in a football game like y'all rock stars.
Time. And when we left, we said we'll be back here. He threw an assist by having me come on during this segment.
Well, so with my role, I just right with the number 9 Tar Heels hosting Elon. The Nothing But Net crew will have all the highlights and analysis at 11 Eastern. What a way to tip off the season.
Absolutely. Me and my guy Wes Durham will be at Elon, North Carolina. Area where they have to continue to get better with Tyrese Proctor. He's moved primarily off the ball this year, where he's been the point guard for the last 2 seasons. Now we'll be off the ball more, and Jon Scheyer wants to see him become even more of a shooter.
Seen the touch from the outside early on in the preseason for Arizona.
28 points. I think you're happy with your defense from that standpoint. The problem is they only have 11 points.
Tracking down the rebound is Jihad. He's been one of the best players on the floor this first half for Arizona State. Launching a 3, and there's the first one knocked down by the Sun Devils. That's Amir Ali, the freshman from Little Elm, Texas.
I tell you what, Amir Ali was confident in knocking that down too. He could pull it up on transition, not even allowing Duke to get back and build a wall at that line.
Proctor lost his man, and the runner goes. We're seeing guys in the second unit getting some playing time, and Jon Scheyer said, I need to see some things out of the guys to see if they're going to be part of the rotation in the regular season.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure all 10 guys got some opportunities.
Those guys that Jon Scheyer said, we're not looking for scoring out of him. He's a guy who can bring energy, rebound. He's only been playing basketball since he was 13 years old, grew up playing soccer, so he's got a very high ceiling.
You know, one of the things, and he was only scratching the surface. Didn't play much growing up. And, of course, got to Kansas and was very good defensively. His offense.
Very big-time experience playing for the Olympic team of South Sudan this summer in Paris. Look out behind you. Poked away by Knipple. And the lane on the other end by Tyrese Proctor.
But you got to have your teammates tell you something. Someone's behind you.
Offense trying to go through Jihad. Pull up baseline. I like his game.
Yeah, strong finish right there, but more importantly, recognizing for their last 6 shots.
1 minute to play here in this first half. Cooper flag. And a foul called against Quaintance.
Starts at home. Kelly and Ralph Flagg have raised him. They are high on the list of a great job manipulating the screen and roll, and more importantly, using the clock by Caleb Foster there to get a bucket.
Rising up at the horn. That one halfway down, but comes out for Alston Mason.
How they attack this second half if they feel more comfortable against this Duke defense.
Bobby Hurley talked about that with his guys. He said, I tried to scare them. He said, in order to win this game, we're going to have to play harder than Duke in their building. Here's Caleb Foster, the sophomore, and he'll be fouled on the arm by Adam Miller.
Knockdown shooter, but more transitioning more so to the primary ball handler. We're on those 2 guards. If they're firing on all cylinders, you're talking about a danger.
To make sure that he knows what his role is on the floor. As they find it to him inside, can't finish, gets his own miss and puts it back and in.
And as the year goes along,
out ahead, nice catch in traffic, but cannot finish. His Quaintance. He gets the air ball and puts it up and in, plus the foul. That is something they talk about. And as Quaintance misses from the line. Now with 8 rebounds to go along with 8 points for the Duke freshman. Knipple using the screen, and he nails the three. Shire says he is the best shooter on the team this season.
And that's
clear out, uses the spin move, flag with the help D, and he forces the miss. Extra pass, Knipple with two in his face, it doesn't matter. Knocks down his second thing. As they've opened up a 47-23 lead here in the second half. Active hands, scrum on the floor. Cooper Flagg ahead of the pack. Hello!
You have to look at what Tyrese Proctor does defensively. Not only coming up with the steal, but getting on the floor after Tyrese Proctor.
Corey, this is just an exhibition, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. Knipple fouled plus the three. On Knipple this season.
But that's why it doesn't feel like it. Because here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, when you step on this floor, it does KE across the front of your uniform.
He's from the Midwest. The pressure, getting another turnover for the Blue Devils.
And you're looking for him right now. He's the hot hand. You got the license to take.
Proctor, nothing but nylon.
And Con Knipple recognizing the deep.
Jihad, and a foul called before the block.
Of this game. And Coach K doesn't show up. Important Bobby Hurley was and has been to this Duke program.
Really means so much to Coach K. He's one of his favorite players of all time.
Absolutely is that. I asked Coach K years ago what player that he's coached reminded him of himself as a player. And he immediately said Bobby Hurley. Because he doesn't need plays run for him to get looks. You just give him the inch, he can take care of you.
He is 4 for 4 from beyond the arc this half as Quaintance puts it in plus the foul. Then on November 5th, the field hockey quarterfinals begin, and Wednesday the 6th, the men's soccer championship starts.
He has scored 6 points in the second half. Jaden Quaintance has 5 of them. Again, they have not been able to really get anything going against this Duke team defensively. And Duke comes off the bench with even better defenders as Mason Gillis knocks down the three.
Jon Scheyer said, I want to play faster. On a miss, we are pushing everything this season. And Knipple, that is his first miss from beyond the arc this half. But he gets it back and lays it in.
But he got it back because he didn't concede the rebound to Arizona State. He just goes in almost as though there's a loose ball and blows it up. And somehow or another, the ball pops into the hands of Malik Brown, who finds Knipple for the easy layup.
Knipple now leads.
Get him minutes, but who do you take off the floor?
Miller from the elbow, and his jumper goes.
And that's a guy that Bobby Hurley closed out, forcing his guy off the three-point line, did a great job staying in front of him. Those are the type of plays that get you more minutes.
Look at the extra passing. Sion James, the Tulane transfer, knocks down the three.
Great ball movement, great recognition by.
Here's James defensively. He played 4 years at Tulane playing a zone, but they've loved the way he's adjusted to playing man D here at Duke.
Sion James spent some time with us at the Chris Paul, Jason Tatum camp in Vegas this summer, along with Con Knipple. And he showed us, hey, he's a guy, he's a man, no question about it. And you see the versatility of him being able to play the point guard position, but he's a guy that also could step in and guard post players.
A block is called against Arizona State.
Now Darren Harris, a freshman who is another elite shooter, is confident and ready when their number's called. That's going to be the challenge for Jon Scheyer.
Three. 10th rebound now for the freshman Malawach. Kick out, Foster, and he rattles in another three ball.
And we talk about elite shooters. He's another one. And then high school at Oak Hill, and we used to go back to the old Lamar Mundane days where when he catch it wide open, I yelling lay up because you know what's going to happen. That's how good of a shooter he was.
Sion James, they went under the screen and he makes them pay.
You're forced to shoot it. You saw it.
Everybody getting in on the action. exhibition. You said it. Caleb Foster, the layup.
Start talking Darren Harris. There he goes again. Oh, wait a minute. I got to stop talking about it for a second. You can't shoot a wide open air ball, Caleb.
Freeman with a hand in his face, and he will knock down the three. But he said at some point I might go to 4 guards to see what that looks like. He's going to switch things up to try to be ready for the regular season. Head fake, Isaiah Evans on the floor. And the three falls. Duke is 11 of 17 from beyond the arc here in this second half. James make that 12 of 18 from beyond the arc. And Sion James off the bench, he now has 9.
And with the way that Duke will be able to defend this season, if they shoot the basketball like this, they could be hanging a 6 banner. I mean, let's call it what it is. This is the most talented team in the country. And so in the way that they're going to defend each and every night, and you have to because you have so much depth on the team, everyone has to defend to get playing time. Look at Slim, a.k.a. Isaiah.
And Arkansas looked really good getting the win, although Hunter Dickinson didn't play. Kansas was shorthanded in that exhibition game. It is raining threes in Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's the Purdue transfer, Mason Gillis.
Mason Gillis played in the national championship game last year. It doesn't get any more experience than that.
Here's a steal. Darren Harris goes reverse and lays it in.
A guy who may be number 9 or 10 on the depth chart, and Darren Harris coming up with the steal and going reverse layup, the finish. He'd be a starter in front of it.
There's Gillis with the rebound.
It may not have actually been a zone. It just looked like a zone because he was so far in help.
Evans, you get a 3.
Or if these guys don't force them to have to play 10 guys because they're all performing at such a high level.
Now you remember John Shire in his second year as a player at Duke. He said we had units of 5 guys getting subbed out consistently. Evans turnaround jumper. Under 4 minutes to play. Oh, behind the back pass. We see you, Amir Ali.
Amir Ali has had some productive offensive possessions in this game, something that Bobby Hurley can take back and show some positives of what Amir Ali's been able to do. Knocked down a couple threes in this one and been aggressive offensively. And again, as you mentioned, trying to find that rotation. This is great for both these coaches to see who's going to show up.
How about that in and out dribble by James, getting all the way to the rack. He now has 13 points off the bench for Duke.
Okay, it is a zone. We can call it a zone. That has been bothering me for a second, but it is actually a zone, and something I'm sure that Coach Shire doesn't want to use a lot of.
Number 1 predicted to finish in the ACC this season.
And this year's Duke team, a lot similar to what John Shire did in year 1 defensively, the ability to switch everything and put pressure on you, I think separates them. But North Carolina, I believe, will be there when it's all said and done. Wake Forest looking forward to this year with Steve Forbes.
Notre Dame at 10, Virginia Tech 14, and Boston College rounding out the 18 teams in the ACC. Harris has that one swatted by Brandon Gardner. He's the USC transfer. Off the bench, and Cameron Sheffield, the graduate transfer from Rice, will go to the free throw line. And how about it? Bobby Hurley
felt as though he deserved that from what he did in practice every day. I can tell you for certain, Bobby Hurley Sr. did not take it easy on his sons, Bobby or Danny Hurley, or who goes by Dan now. I forget, I got to say that. But they in the ACC both have their jerseys retired at their respective schools. Jersey City, St. Anthony's, and Flint Hill Prep. Bobby Hurley versus Randolph Childress.
Excuse me, Spencer Hubbard off the...
I believe the only player on the roster under 6'5".
Correct.
But you see has a much bigger game than his stature.
How about this for an exhibition atmosphere inside Cameron Indoor Stadium with Bobby Hurley making his first return being a head coach. Duke will take a shot clock violation. And it's not over just yet with .1 on the clock. And the officials say, you know what? It's an exhibition. Let's just end this one. Duke, the number 7 team in the country, with a dominant 103-47 win over Arizona State.